Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. James, you've been my button presser for the last 3 interviews. Thank you very much for that.
That's all right.
Tell people what you do.
So I'm a PhD student in computer science, but I'm based in Horizon with the rest of the fellows you've just seen. I'm working on one of the energy projects, which is called, well, it's abbreviated to DESIMAX because it stands for Multi-Scale Modelling for Demand-Side Management, which is why I had to take a breath there.
What's it do?
Basically, it's looking at the idea that at any one point there's a load on the grid, and at the moment there's very little response from the demand side of things, so from the consumer, on is this a good idea for me to add more load to the grid, or should I be taking stuff away?
Okay.
So if you think about the old Economy 7 concept,
Right.
when you get rewarded for using electricity at night because there's an excess load
Yes.
on the grid,
Yeah.
and then punished for using it during the day because it's more expensive.
Yes.
So the idea of this is to create mathematical models which represent this, that are scalable throughout domestic consumers up to business models, and then to push these models through the entire energy process, so
Okay.
consumption, supply, generation,
Okay.
so that you can manage this.
Isn't one of our fundamental problems though with energy is that the grid has never changed?
No.
Do we need to change huge chunks of the grid before we can start doing these things?
I think so. At the moment, the infrastructure as it stands could still be used,
Okay.
but people need to be more responsive to what's happening on there. So there's very little consumer awareness of what's a good thing, what's a bad thing to do in terms of what's happening on the grid at the moment.
Right.
So creating technologies which feed back this information to the user and help them possibly automate things, or just to be more responsive.
Okay. So almost like smart decisions for the consumer.
Yeah.
So literally, I can walk through my front door and say, well, you know, if you're going to have a bath between these times, you're going to use this amount of energy.
Yeah.
Do you think people want that kind of level? How do we integrate that to people's lives?
It's a difficult thing to do. So in the past, there's been a lot of research on smart homes and trying to automate everything in your house. So you walk in the door and your bath switch is on and your heater switch on.
Scary.
And people get angry with this and turn it all off.
Right.
Which is why it never worked. So I think there's a lot of work to be done in terms of understanding what people can accept and how to work with them in giving them the automation, but giving them the control over it as well.
Okay. So where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? What would be your signature project that you would like to come out of the Horizon project?
I'd like for the PhD project that I'm working on to become something which is pushed out into the wild, as Martin was talking and Ben talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And to make it something that actually has an impact on
Everyday life.
Yeah, thank you.
So what's it like to work with those guys at Horizon Project?
They're pretty cool. They're okay. So I've been there for like 2 months now.
Yeah.
I can see Ben sticking his thumb up in the background.
Do you come away from there sort of with your head blown from time to time?
A little bit. So I'm really naive and young, I guess, in the whole world of research. So it's quite nice to be immersed in that kind of environment.
Exciting.
Yeah, it is.
So how did you get your break in that? I mean, it's fabulous that you did a PhD for a start, but you know how did you discover
I did an
it?
internship with them.
Okay,
so
right. Okay.
My original undergraduate was at Nottingham University.
Okay.
And when I was an undergraduate, I worked with Ben for a little bit. Who helped with one of my projects there.
Yeah.
And my internship was with him over the summer.
Awesome.
So it kind of followed on from that.
Well, I wish you all the best, James, and I look forward to seeing you on future projects.
Cheers.
Cheers.